Okay, my lovelies, just a quick update from the video I did earlier. If you check on YouTube, you'll see it as the previous video. I've just watched the webcast from the British Business Bank and the FSB, and they've actually, fair play to them, they've answered a few of the questions I put to them. So, well, here they are.
Okay. Now, before we go on, I think Simon's got a couple of questions here. We've got one, he's not exactly anonymous. He's a guy who goes by the name of Mr. Bounceback, which I'm sure you dealt with before, Richard. And his first question is really about Tide, because anybody that took Bounceback loan with Tide and has approached them for pay-as-you-grow options, they have, I think Tide have rejected any of those approaches. Can you just describe the situation for Tide customers?
Okay, so this is a difficult one. So we have an expectation that all of our lenders offer pay-as-you-grow, and as you rightly point out, Tide have not met that expectation. And although the vast majority of bounce back loan customers can access pay-as-you-grow, I am really disappointed that Tide customers can't access pay-as-you-grow. And I think the first thing to say is I can really only apologise that those Tide customers can't benefit from pay-as-you-grow. And as a sort of explanation, so bounce back loans, as we said before, it is what's called a delegated scheme, and that means that we cannot force a lender to offer funds, and we cannot force them to change their terms of a previously agreed sort of term with agreement with a customer, or indeed force them to change the contract with us. So we cannot force them to do that. I know Tide are supporting customers who are facing difficulties, and as I say, they will still provide what's called forbearance for customers that are in difficulty and work with them and provide options. But we will continue to work with them and encourage them to offer pay-as-you-grow as a standard to their customers. So it's a difficult message to give, but I feel it's appropriate to be as clear as I can on that particular point.
Yeah, you can take a break for a second, because the next question is really for Gaynor. Gaynor, can you confirm roughly how many recovery loans have so far been approved?
We're due to publish the first data on the recovery loan schemes in September. So obviously it's a fairly new scheme. We've been accrediting lenders and it takes some time for all that data to be fed through. So the first analysis will be published in September. But it's fair to say that the take-up of the recovery loan scheme is as expected in terms of sort of pre-pandemic levels, as businesses are using it now for recovery and growth rather than a sort of a survival situation during COVID. But as soon as we have that data available, then obviously it will be accessible through our website.
Are you aware of anybody else in that situation? Oh, you're on mute, Richard. You caught my
Yeah, sorry. So no, I'm not aware of any other lenders in that situation. And again, I'd be interested, I'd be interested in hearing about that. I mean, the pay-as-you-grow is, as I said earlier, it's not something that the lenders are there to approve or decline. It's for the vast majority where they are offering pay-as-you-grow, it's a term of the scheme. So it's difficult to see the scenario where effectively they're being declined. I don't know the circumstances that have been referred to, obviously, but very happy if there's, as I say, if there's particular scenarios where people are saying actually something's not quite right here. Very happy, because then we can take that up with the lender in question.
Okay, I've got a question which I think may be from Mr. Bounceback again, but essentially there are two parts to his question. One is banks that are requesting that you need to phone them before you can access your pay-as-you-grow options. And then you get stuck in this, you know, enormous queue and don't get answered. And then the other one is people who say that they won't allow you to exercise your pay-as-you-grow options unless they're able to get a letter from anybody that may have refused you a bounce back loan in the past. So that's like, in other words, bureaucratic obstacles to getting your pay-as-you-grow option.
So if that's happening, I mean, that would be a disappointment. And I know it's you know, it's a similar answer to what I've just given, but I'm not aware of sort of major sort of system faults. So the scheme is designed to be straight through. So I was talking to one of the major lenders yesterday, and we're actually talking about on a sort of similar topic, and we were talking about the fact that some of the region of over 99% of applications are going through their digital portal, and less than 1% they're then speaking to them on the phone. There will be circumstances where, more often than not, led by the customer, where the customer will want to query something and they'll end up dealing with it on the phone. But the pay-as-you-go option is designed to be straight through and as smooth as possible. So again, if there are lenders that are sort of systemically kind of almost putting barriers up, it would be good to know about it. So very happy to be advised that lender X is, whatever reason, putting bureaucratic hurdles in place. But it's not something I'm aware of. If somebody approaches their lender and the lender is at fault in some way, or provides that results in sort of poor service or some sort of loss or some sort of impact, or they get timed out in some way or miss the cutoff for the repayment and therefore sort of end up in a difficult situation. If ultimately a lender is at fault, then the customer has absolutely all their normal rights to be able to put a complaint initially to that lender, and then if not satisfied, then through the ombudsman. But as I say, if people are experiencing sort of systemic or kind of, you know, issues that are put in place by the lenders, you know, I'm very happy to hear about them, because then that allows us to make inquiries with the relevant lender.